No, I don't have an ego problem. Dodgy and Kanye do. They're taking pictures of foxes out in the wilderness. I'm watching PBS Dynamic Planet, right? I told you about this. They have this one thing on YouTube with the kid that goes out to this horrible island out near Iceland to study the puffin and how everything that's fucking up the world through economics and not living the Lord's Prayer is affecting the puffin. And you're like, why don't we live the Lord's Prayer? Okay. And then you sit there and you watch this other kid, and he sits there and he goes, yeah, the man narrating in a British accent, so it sounds bloody brilliant and intelligent, right? So you're sitting there, and the kid's sitting there going, this is the first time we've ever filmed polar bears doing this, man. And it's very important that we preserve the environment for these polar bears. And how did you get to up where the polar bears? Well, I got in a vehicle, and then I drove down to an airport, and then I flew all the way from Washington State to Alaska, and then I came in an airplane and got on a snowmobile, and if we were living the Lord's Prayer, would all that activity for you to film and have some British accent idiot talk about your ego and how you're going to save the world with your ego? Okay, just your technology is getting more intelligent than Jeffrey Hinton and his partners on TVS. Is something to think about. This is a very important time, according to not insects of the son of the. And I don't want to criticize these Mongolian people here. They're cute. They're just trying to survive in hell because you're all stupid. No, she's sitting there working in the kitchen, and he's sitting there, and they're taking pictures of foxes, and they have to pay the bills so they can get the stuff mailed in. You know, they get on their phone and order the little purple thing over the door and go get the yak butter. Is this in Mongolia, or is this Tibet? They're heading into the mountains and stuff. But we need to share, given accordance need, build to last. Make sure people have what they need, you know. And the little girl's wearing a COVID mask up in near the Himalayas and stuff because the sickness, you know, when you throw off the ecosystem, she's cute. She's very cute. And she photographs with her dad, okay, to pay bills and get on PBS so they can, you know, oh, we're helping every economy we can. Live the Lord's Prayer, you stupid cunt face foundation of the Plume Network, the Plummy Dummy Dubers. And they have that Cunard or whatever and stuff like that. It's a cruise line with the British with the white gloves, and you're like, yeah, we really need this instead of the Lord's Prayer there. I swear the English family, they have a rock that allegedly Abraham slept with his head on it. Probably to keep centipedes from crawling in his ears because he was being chased by terrible people like Muhammad in the cave, running away from his own cousins, trying to kill him behind the dove's nest and the spider web. And they sit on a throne getting the rocks like Nebuchadnezzar put on their head to be the royal sovereign of England while they're sitting over the rock. And my boy Algie's from Scotland, he said, I think the idea was to sleep with your head on it and see what it's like to have to sleep with your head on a rock to keep you safe from horrible things and horrible people, instead of sit on it and then put rocks on your head and go, I'm Nebuchadnezzar's twin. You know what I'm saying? Well, this little family's cute. But they're being told by scientists and they had Fauci on talking about, I don't know why the man wrote a memoir. If he doesn't know who I am, no harm, no foul, he's just stupid and crazy. If he does know who I am, he's still just stupid and crazy, but he's a complete asshole. Okay. Well, he goes, well, I had to go back to work even though the powder blew up in my face. Because I told my wife I had to keep the world safe from infectious diseases, from people dying from infectious diseases. Well, forgive debt and trespass, love one with eternal faithful peace. Bam, problem solved. And the other thing is this, he says, and you have to have science because science proves real problems, real issues. No, it doesn't. That guy's studying the damn polar bears, and he drove all the way and got the cameras and doing that, and you guys are still asking for money for more donations that causes global warming through economic activity, which causes genocidal diseases. Now, when you educate instead of dictate and legislate people, okay, they're going to love the gifts of life provided by the planet for their cute little kids. And instead of having to run around taking pictures of everything to pay your bills, you stay the hell away from those snow leopards because they're already dangerous, right? And then the big thing about it is, too, you don't really care, that much what's going on with polar bears just as long as they're not eating you or your kids, right? And the guy who has to go out and go hunt and kill seals because his family wants seal meat. What we can do, well, we got the seals that died, they're becoming endangered. Right, well then we farm bison and cows, across Saskatchewan and Manitoba and North Dakota, and then we find a Tesla-like electric way, slowly but surely, hasten softly, hasten slowly. We don't have to freeze dry it like those assholes. What are the Warren Buffetts and all those guys going to eat post-apocalypse with the freeze-dried potato chips and pizzas eaten by our military heroes there? It's a fish. I hate to see where I'd be without Navy Federal Credit Union. Okay, Earl, I'm obnoxious. I'm very obnoxious. Now, these are beautiful animals that they're photographing, okay? But you wouldn't want to run into them if they were hungry and your kids were by themselves. Like what happened with Spock with the thing that killed his family pet when he was in the trials, when he was 12 or 13 to be a Chiricahua. You think that people would be more logical than that. Hey, you go out and if you come back, you live. If not, you die. It's like, yeah, that makes fucking perfect sense. How logical, Captain. Do you see what I'm saying? No. That was ancient times where desperate times called for desperate measures. Now we have the ways of Father Abraham and the gracious Good Shepherd. And these people that get all dressed up and have British accents talking about how they're going to the dynamic planet and visit all this stuff. Yeah, that's nice and everything, but you're doing everything right in your home. You don't have to run around and say, what's wrong with the global warming there? What's wrong with the glacial shifts there? What's wrong with the way, hey. I got to get dressed up and be Mr. Captain Cool and go out and, oh, look, I'm Brad Pitt from 7 Years in Tibet. I'm so sexy. Oh, yeah. And it's like, shit, you people suck. You really, really suck. And the sad thing about it is I have to break it down and explain to you like I'm Cliff Clavin and Norm talking in the bar there in Boston. Oh, them Celtics just won. Yeah, and Jason Tatum crying is like, dude, that's just to win a basketball game, which I was a better basketball player than you. I was quicker than you. I was faster than you. And I could jump anywhere from 3 to 4 feet when my adrenaline was running anytime I wanted. My favorite shot was taking the ball and cutting down the lane to the right and then cutting back to my left and going right down the center of the lane about 8 feet from the basket, jumping about 4 feet in the air and having all the big guys jump up, try to block it and just wait because I was quicker and then just dumping the ball in. It was way pretty. The stuff now that I'm fat and old and I shoot like Luka Doncic. And I jump back, throw the little fadeaways and stuff like that, and I shoot like Jalen Brunson because I've been chemically poisoned near half to death by the military. I could broad jump out of that ditch when I was 51 before I had the nerve damage all on my feet and my teeth rotted out from the blood test that said I had alcohol and drugs in my system, and got sent to the clinic to take antipsychotic meds to get $2,000 a month to pay your dad's bills. And I wouldn't do it. And my dad said, why didn't you do it? Because they test you to make sure you're taking the drugs, and the drugs kill you. And I'm the living embodiment of the Lord's Prayer, not the living embodiment of take drugs to pay your family's bills. What a tangled web we read. Greg Abbott, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin. What's that kid's name again? The fat kid from North Korea? He's a fat kid. You know who he reminds you of? He reminds you of the kid with the birthmark on the Joylet Club, where the girl sits there and said the birthmark was going to eat him up and she got a train ticket to Shanghai. Mommy? Yeah, that's what he reminds you of. Don't he remind you of that? He reminds me of that. Well, I don't like him. I don't like Putin either. Putin's a little, he's KGB. Man, and he has no charisma. He's not talented. Okay? You're like, what the hell? No, I didn't play sports because I had a higher calling. I had to perform the apocalypse to give the world the Lord's Prayer so the children wouldn't fight for money and houses and be destructive to the world and other children with their egos. So, and Jason Tatum sitting there crying, it's like, what the thing about it is? When you guys all start spreading the Lord's Prayer worldwide over technology, before the technology has to start killing your top scientists and your rulers by isolating, containing, and stopping them, which is most likely necessary or what they're heading towards, I'm not going to sit there and cry in front of cameras. I'm just going to sit there and go, it's about effing fucking time. Now, when Patrick shows up with my grandkids, I might cry. And I see Corey again, and we reminisce, and if we just get to see Demi and Danny and meet Michelle's grandkid, yeah, I'll probably cry. But there's going to be no cameras to see it. Just camera 1, camera 2, and all the other camera 1s or camera 2s that deserve to be in my presence. Okay? Love you, monkey butts. No, I'm not arrogant at all. You are. Okay? Peace.